Okay, so far, guys, let's situate ourselves where we are in now. Let's go back to our course overview and let's see. So we're here at module 1, okay, Introduction to Financial Management. We haven't really discussed many of these items yet, but we're in the process of doing that. We're going to discuss, as I mentioned before, we're going to focus on looking at the different types of financial institutions, instruments, and markets. Although last session, we were able to have some examples of this through the Kahoot game that we have had. I'm going to post, by the way, the results of the Kahoot game, if not later, tomorrow, okay? Because I have the record of your points. And as I said, guys, the points that you'll be getting from these activities will be recorded for your benefit, of course, so that your grades could be increased. And I'll do that at the end of the term, okay? All right, so let's continue our discussion on the introduction to financial management. I'd like to apologize, guys, kasi I noticed that when I wrote here and then I saved this as a PDF file, hindi pala nasi-save yung yung sinulat ko. Maybe mali yung ginawa ko, no? I'll try to see if I can resolve that, but that's why the slides that I posted did not have the notes that I wrote here last time. I was surprised because when I saved it, it didn't save the notes. So hopefully today, that will be resolved. No? All right. So we said last time that by way of review, what's the main objective of any business? We said that it should be maximization of shareholder value, not to say that the other objectives, which is to maximize profit or to minimize cost or to satisfy customers, are not important. They are important. But the question is, should that be the main objective of a business entity? Okay, and we briefly discussed what are the advantages of also focusing on satisfying customers. We said that customers are our lifeblood, is the lifeblood of any business. And customers provide repeat purchases, repeat patronization of the products, and they're the last one who will go away or not patronize the services or product of the company in case there are increase in prices. They are what we call they're the least price sensitive. Okay, and satisfied customers also provide loyalty to the company, and which results into a free advertising for the company through word of mouth. And we can do cross-selling to our loyal customers, to the satisfied customers. And they're the first ones who will patronize new innovations. Satisfying customers are very important because it provides stability and growth to the company and also increases profits. So related to, no? Maximization of profits, related yan sa customer satisfaction, pati sa cost minimization. However, strictly speaking, that should not be the main goal of the objective, the main objective of an organization, because of several reasons. One reason we said was that pag profit maximization, there is a tendency to cut back on costs, especially those discretionary costs, not realizing that this tactic could impact the company greatly in the long run. So we know that a company exists for the long term, unless it's a joint venture or a short-term project na talagang 2-year lang yung span ng buhay ng ng project na yun. Okay lang yun, no? Pero ang corporations are built, as an author of the book, Jim Collins, said, they are built to last, no? Built to last. So kapag ang focus is profit maximization, there's a tendency to lose track of this site, that the company is there for the long haul, and it might need investments, quote unquote, expenditures that may not, that may not, the impact of which may not be seen in the near future, but rather in the distant future. Okay, we gave examples of that, like training. Usually, pag nagka-cutback yung company ng expenses, ang unang tinatapyas, ang unang tinatanggal yung training. Not realizing that importante ito for sustainability of the business. Okay, we also looked at risk management. Sabi natin, importanteng hedging in order to protect the company's assets from the risks that it may be exposed to. We looked at, for example, last time, di ba, nag-derivatives tayo? Tinignan natin yung concept ng futures. Tinignan natin yung concept ng options. Okay, in the course of this discussion, we're going to discuss that more. Okay? Tapos, sabi din natin, pag profit maximization kasi, basta taasan na lang natin yung yung prices natin as high as possible, because the objective is to increase margins. Pero pag wealth maximization kasi, guys, again, long term to, a company would normally, pwede pa niyang i-reduce yung prices niya. Yeah, kasi ang long-term objective is to establish good relationship with the customers, no? And gain market share over the long term. Okay, so these are just some of the examples, no, of the reason why it should be wealth or shareholder value maximization. The last reason we mentioned was capacity planning, no? Importante yung capacity planning. Pag profit maximization lang ang pinaka short-term goal, there's a chance na hindi mag-i-invest sa pag-enhance, sa pag-buttress ng productive capacity ng firm. Okay, so that's one myopic stance that the company may posit or may adopt kapag profit maximization lang. Okay? Kaya nga sabi natin, guys, ito last time we looked at this, sabi natin, lumalabas ngayon yung concept ng triple bottom line. Okay, ito. Okay, triple bottom line. I guess I'd better put this in word na lang para sure tayo. Okay, what's a triple bottom line? Okay, this concept has gained popularity over the years. Pag sinabi natin triple bottom line, the focus should not only be on profitability. Okay, and the acronym for this is usually what we call the 3Ps. Review. Okay, start thinking. Okay, ito tinatawag natin 3Ps, no? Or the 3Es. Pareho lang yan, no? So this posits that yung firm, guys, tatlong bottom line dapat yan. Tatlong bottom line yung tinitingnan, no? And these are all important, no? So sinasabi natin E. Triple bottom line. We have the economy or the profitability of the company. Okay, we have also the environment. Okay, yung ecology, and also the employee. Okay, so that's a triple bottom line. There, it's called also P. So we have profit, the people, and the planet. Oops, sorry. Baliktad, people dito, and planet on the environment. Sorry for that. So that's a triple bottom line. Now, I'd like to ask the question. I think I started asking this question last time. So you have a firm here. Okay. So others would say that parang limited kapag shareholder value maximization. Okay, shortcut ko lang yan, guys. Shareholder value maximization. Others say that it should not be shareholder value only. It should be stakeholder Okay, so this is an amplification of the shareholder value theory, stakeholder value maximization. And why is that? Kasi ang sinasabi nila, hindi lang naman yung shareholders ang may interest dun sa well-being ng organization. So their interest should also be protected. Kasi it's not only the shareholders, but also the other stakeholders. So ano ba yung my question is, sino ba guys yung mga other stakeholders of a firm? Kindly please. Who are interested, who are external parties or even internal parties, who are interested in seeing that a company succeed? Could you name some, guys? Paki-unmute na lang yung mic. Okay, may
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Si Albert po to.
Albert,
Employee.
yeah, sige. Thank you, thank you, Albert. Yeah, that's correct. Employee. Could you elaborate further, Albert?
Let's say a company does well. If a company does well, there is a chance or there's a probability that the employees gets a raise or a better working environment.
Okay. Yeah, that's correct. No, thank you, Albert. No, so ang employees ba in general, do they want their company to succeed? Albert, you think? You think employees in general would want their firm, the company, to succeed?
If they are paid well, yeah.
Yeah, di ba? Ang employees, of course, guys, kasi employees sila ng firm, they want the company to succeed, no? Tama? Whether the employees belong to the C-suite. Have you heard of this term, guys? C-suite. Have you heard of this term? C-suite. Yes or no, guys? Paki-chat nga. Have you heard of that? C-suite. Okay, thank you. Yeah, good. Yung C-suite, guys, ito yung mga kaya ang tawag sa kanya C-suite kasi nawawala tong Okay. Ito yung CEO, CIO, CFO, CMO, diba? Ngayon nga may nakikita akong CPO no? Ito yung mga C-suite, Chief Executive Officers, Chief Information Officer, Chief Finance Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief People Officer, may ganung mga position na, no? May CKO pa nga, no? So these are what we call the mga top sa mga pinaka-top sa company, no? Mga C-suite 'yan. And kaya nga C-suite kasi it begins with the letter C. Now, very interestingly, guys, pag sinabi natin employee, so of course they are very much keen to see the business succeed. Okay? Now, related to this employee, guys, meron tayong tinatawag na, guess nyo guys, may problem as far as employee is concerned. No? The blank problem, letter A. Anybody, guys? Could you guess? Ano kaya yung problem with the employees? As regards their relationship with the firm. Let me explain a bit, no? Tapos hulaan nyo kung ano yung A na yan. Okay, empleyado. No? Siyempre, ang empleyado, guys, they may be tempted to do some things that would hurt the company. No? Kasi siyempre, minsan sa self-survival, no? An employee might, for example, might pilfer some of the items, kunyari bond paper, ball pens, pwedeng kunin ng empleyado yon na bawal naman kasi dapat pang office lang yan. Things like this, no? These are small things. Pero hindi lang yun. Paano kung ang pinipilfer mga high-valued items, no? So meron tayong tinatawag ng mga pilferage, may mga employees na nagnanakaw or even the executive officers, the C-suite officers, they might do things that will be beneficial to them but will not be beneficial for the firm. So anong klaseng problem ng tawag doon, guys? Anyone? Have you heard of that, guys? Yung issue na yan, when employees would do things that will benefit them only and not necessarily the firm. Any guess, guys? Ano kayang problem yun? Kasi in a sense, employees are blank of the organization. They are let's see, may sumagot. Okay, they are asset. Yeah. Kyla, it starts with the letter A. Albert, asset. Thank you for trying, pero hindi siya asset, no? It starts with the letter A. What do you call a person who acts on behalf of another? So if you act on behalf of another, you are a blank of that other entity. Ally. Thank you, Syra, pero hindi siya ally. It's okay, thank you. Accountability, accomplice. Okay, these are good answers, guys, pero hindi siya. Hindi yan yung answer. Okay, magbibigay ako ng clue, ha? Yan. Ano siya, guys? Yun, thank you, Albert. Correct. Agent, no? A person who acts on behalf of another is an agent. Okay? So we will be having what we call an agency problem. Okay? Yun ang problem dito, guys, no? Yun ang problem. Tinatawag natin agency problem. Kung yung mga empleyado, gumagawa sila ng mga hakbang na which will not benefit the firm in general, but which will benefit themselves. Okay? Whether it's a CKO, Chief Knowledge Officer, Chief People Officer, or the CEO. Example, there was a time, guys, na grabe yung mga bonuses na binibigay ng mga CEO, ng mga Chief Officers to themselves. No? Grabe yung mga bonuses na binibigay nila kahit na yung firm bagsak, kahit na hindi kumikita, still, they give millions of bonuses para sa kanila. Now, that's an agency problem. Diba? Kasi ang tinitingnan nila yung sarili nila eh. Kahit naman hindi nag-perform well ng yung company, and yet they have the audacity to give themselves high bonuses. Especially dati, guys, nung time na yon, during that time na rubber stamp lang yung mga board of directors. Okay? What do I mean by rubber stamp? Kontrolado ng CEO yung mga board of directors. Ngayon medyo nawala na yan kasi may mga governance rules na, no? Na kailangan may mga independent na mga board of directors. Kasi it was meant to also protect the owners of the firm, the shareholders. Historically kasi, guys, ganito nangyari dyan eh. Historically, yung may-ari ng negosyo, siya yung namamahala ng negosyo. Okay? So it started that way. Lahat ng mga firms, lahat ng mga companies, ang nagmamay-ari, yung owner, siya din yung manager. Okay? So walang problema doon, walang agency problem sa ganon. Kasi, siyempre, kung ikaw may-ari ng business, alam nga naman na gagawa ka ng mga steps o ng mga policies na ikakasama ng negosyo, di ba? But over time, things change kasi mas naging complex yung organizations, mas naging lumaki. Lumaki masyado. No? So, hindi nakakayanin ng owner na i-manage yung business na yan. So, dito na pumasok yung tinatawag natin professional managers. Okay? So, they were now tapped in order to run the business, to manage the business. Okay? And because of that, slowly, little by little, pumasok yung agency problem. Kasi the people now, the professional managers now, thought of ways in order to protect themselves, lalo na pag hindi nagsisi-eye to eye yung owners at saka yung professional managers. So what developed was what we call agency problem. Ito guys yung nangyari, I'm not sure if you're familiar with, are you familiar with the story of Enron? Okay, pakichat nga guys kung familiar kayo dun sa Enron story, ENRON. That will be a required video na papanoodin nyo. Enron. Have you heard of this, guys, of this company? Okay, thank you. Okay, now, one of your assignment, okay, for the weekend, guys, is to view this movie, Enron. Kasi grabe yung kwento na to, guys. From billions and billions yung capitalization niya, naging bankrupt to. It became bankrupt. Why? Bakit billions yung ano niya, yung market value? Bakit nagsarado? A very celebrated case to, no? Because of precisely this one. Itong agency problem. Kaya nga, guys, ngayon, ang ginagawa, what do you think are ways in order to mitigate against the agency problem? Anong one possible na solution? Para yung mga empleyado, yung mga managers, ang gagawin nila, they will take steps that will not destroy the organization. Hindi lang self-serving yung ano nila, yung tinitingnan nila. What do you think? Can you suggest, guys, of one possible solution for this? And this is now being adopted by several companies. Any idea? Okay, we call it, guys, okay, may sumugot ba? Okay, wala. We call it the confidentiality contracts. Thank you, Syra. Pero hindi rin siya mag-solve ng problem ng ano eh. Kung confidentiality in contracts, it will not really mitigate against this problem, no? Policies, anong klaseng policies? Transparency, these are good, guys, yung confidentiality, policies, transparency, pero hindi rin makaka-minimize siya ng agency problem, no? Okay, one way is what we call the ESOP. Have you heard of this, guys? ESOP. Yun ang ginagawa ng karamihan ngayon, no? Ano yung ESOP? ESOP means, anyone, could you kindly check sa internet kung ano ibig sabihin ng ESOP? Yun. Thank you, Syra. Yan, thank you, Caleb. Yeah, that's correct. The Employee Stock Ownership Plan. Okay? So that's a good idea. Bakit? Kasi you make the employees part owners. Gawin mo silang stockholders. Okay? So ang ginagawa, they're offered to buy the stocks of the company at a reduced price. Okay? Minsan salary deduction pa nga, no? So ano nangyayari? Part owner sila ng company. So if they're gonna do something about wrong to the company, they're actually inflicting harm on themselves. Kasi pag bumagsak yung company, sayang yung investment din niya, no? So ngayon, ang ano niya, motivated siya na to do things really to benefit the company, to work well for the company, para mag-benefit yung company. Kasi pag nag-benefit siya dyan, pag gumanda yung company, guys, tumaas yung shareholder value, ano mangyayari, guys? Magbe-benefit ba siya? You bet, guys. He will benefit. Now, let me ask two questions, no? Sabi natin, kasi baka makalimutan ko to, no? Sabi natin, ibaba ko lang to. There are two types of investors, di ba? Bakit? Ano? Two types of investors sa isang company. Ano yung mga investors na yun? What are these two investors? How do I insert that? Anyway, sige. Two types of investors. We have what we call external and internal, correct? Sino yung external? Sino yung external, guys? Ito yung the externals are investors. Diba? Saan yan? Galing yan saan? Sa basic accounting equation, assets is equal to liabilities plus equity. Ito, guys, ito yung investors natin. So, sino-sino sila? Sabi natin, ito yung mga nagpapautang, no? Creditors. And equity, ito yung mga, may sumugot yata. Sila yung mga ano, guys. Okay, sila yung mga shareholders. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Erin. Okay, thank you, Marco. Okay, sila yung mga shareholders. Okay, question. Ano yung motivation, guys? Anong motivation ng mga creditors? Ba't sila magpapahiram sa ano, sa isang organization? What's the motivation? Two things. Ano? Good reputation. Bakit yung mga creditors, bakit sila magpapautang sa isang company? Yan. Thank you, Syra. It's interest, no? Kasi they will earn in the form of interest. They will earn in the form of interest and ano pa? Of course, at the end of the term of the debt, ano yung makukuha back? What do they get back in return? Ano yung makukuha nila, guys? Letter P, it's the, syempre, makukuha nila, okay, profit, not necessarily profit. Yung profit na yun, yung interest yun, no? Letter P. Thank you, Albert, no? But yung profit is the same as interest from the perspective of the creditor. No? Kikita sila in the form of interest, but at the end of the term of the debt, no, yung pautang nila, ano makukuha nila? What is that thing that they'll be able to get back? Yan. Thank you, Erin. It's a principal, no? Tama. Principal. Makukuha nila yung principal, yung amount na pinautang nila, no? So they'll get this back, principal. Principal. Okay. On the other hand, si shareholders naman, ano yung motivation nila? Bakit yung iba ayaw pautang? Mas gusto nila yung maging shareholder sila. What's their motivation? What do shareholders get from the firm? Paki-unmute na lang, guys. Anyone? Pag shareholder ka, ano makukuha mo? Remember, these are all investors, no? Pag shareholder, ano yung makukuha ni shareholder? Okay, so their money grows, yes, but in what form? No? In what form? Kasi yung money, growth ng money, it can come in two forms. Ano yung two forms na yun? Number one is letter D. Number two is CA. So what's that, guys? Okay, correct, no? Thank you, Caleb, Marco, thank you. Okay, Kyla, thank you. Marco, thank you. Caleb and Aaron, yeah, correct. Dividends, no? Dividends. And usually, ang dividends, it's usually in the form of cash. Although sometimes it can be in the form of stock dividends. Okay, tapos ano to? Ano tong CA na to? Ano yung CA, guys? Anyone? CA. Ano kaya to? Ano kaya yung CA na to? So hindi lang dividends, ha? Mas importante nga to sa shareholders, eh. Okay, when I invested mga 20 pesos per share ng Jollibee, I held on to it for how many years? Tapos ngayon, there was a time na umabot ng 300 plus. Okay, thank you, Sophia, Joanne, but it's not cash, it's what? But thank you for that answer. Ano yung CA natin? It's what? Yung illustration ko, guys, 15 pesos ko binili dati. If it's now 300 plus, anong tawag natin dun? Capital what? Syra, it's correct. It's capital, but capital what? Capital, income, CA. Thank you, Marco. It's CA. Ano yung A kaya dito? Capital. Ano nangyari, guys, nung... Yan. Thank you. Thank you, Martin. Thank you. Okay. Caleb, it's... thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Martin. Thank you pala, from Janela. Tama, no? So, your answer is capital appreciation. That's correct. Okay? Nag-appreciate yung capital natin. Nag-invest tayo, kunyari, ng 15 per share. Ngayon, 300 plus per share na yun. No? So ganun yung tinatawag natin guys na capital appreciation. So the motivation for shareholders for investing in stocks is that, especially pag blue chips, kasi mga blue chip companies regularly, minsan per quarter, minsan semi-annual, minsan annual, nagbibigay sila ng dividends, regular dividends. So ibig sabihin kumikita yung firm, no? And some of it are returned to the shareholders in the form of dividends. But the more the bigger value to shareholders is the capital appreciation. Okay? So sabi natin, ba't nga ba tayo napunta dito? Okay, employee stock option plan, balikan ko to. Di ba kung part owner ka ng business, diba, that will mitigate against, that will lessen the possibility that you're going to cheat on the company. No? Siguro kung talagang die-hard cheat ka, saka mo lang talaga iisipin yun. That's what actually happened to Enron. No? Enron kasi, yung mga nandaya, sila pa yung mga executive officers. No? Okay, so that will be part of your assignment for the weekend to learn what happened to this company called Enron. Okay, anyway, let's continue with this. So employee, sino pa guys yung mga yung mga interested parties? Sino pa yung ups? Okay. Sino pa guys yung mga parties na interested dun sa well-being ng organization? Paki-sound off na lang guys. Anyone else guys?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Consumers po.
Consumers, yeah. Sino to?
Caleb po.
Caleb. Sige, Caleb, paki-explain nga kung bakit bakit si mga consumers or customers, they're interested in the well-being of the organization?
So that yung kung saan sila bumibili,
Yeah.
they're still stable.
Yeah, correct. Oo. Tama yun, no? Tama yun. Kasi syempre, kung pinapatronize mga ng customers yung products nyo, ng company, syempre gusto ng customers na good quality mga products for value for money, di ba? Kung very efficient yung company, very good performer yung company, very stable, growth is okay, they're able to produce products that are of high quality, tapos, at a good price for the customers. Di ba? Merong intrinsic interest yung customers na maging successful yung business na yan. Imagine guys, if kunyari si Globe, si Smart, at saka si Dito, biglang all folded up. What will be a world in the Philippines, sa ating Filipinos, kung hindi tayo makapag-text? Kung walang provider ng internet. Imagine. Diba? So gusto natin din mag-succeed sila Globe, sila Smart, at saka sila si Dito. Diba? Gusto natin mag-succeed yun kasi at stake din yung natin, yung buhay natin. Kasi alam natin na communication is key. Importante nakakapag-communicate tayo. Importante na meron tayong merong tools para sa data analysis. Kung wala yung internet, wala yung mga service providers, I wonder what this world will look like, no? At least for the Philippine setting. Kasi masyado na tayo nasanay sa ganyang klaseng pamumuhay. So that's correct. Caleb, thank you. Customers are really keenly looking at the performance of the firm. They want the firm to succeed. Kasi gusto nila na okay yung service, yung product ng firm. That's very true. Sino pa, guys? So let's just name some more. Some more.
Hello
Yes.
po.
Yes, sino? Paki-introduce yung sarili mo, ha?
Okay po. Hello po, this is Kyla po. Sir,
Kyla,
government po.
Government, yes. Thank you, Kyla. Correct. Bakit kaya government? Bakit interested si government sa well-being ng organization? Bakit?
Sir, kasi po yung mga organizations and companies po, they help po to run the economy po, and meron din po part po, diba, ng taxes yung government.
Yes. Well said, Kyla. Tama. Tama. Kasi in a sense, private organizations also act as din sila, no? They also act to help communities, no? To help in the economy. Siyempre, ang gusto ng gobyerno, ma-boost yung economy, and businesses are there in helping increase GNP, GDP, in providing employment. Okay? Importante sa government yun, di ba? So government is really striving to create a business climate that's really conducive to business growth, di ba? Ayaw ng gobyerno na masyadong restricted yung paglago ng business kasi maapektuhan din sila. And as Kyla mentioned a while ago, yung taxes. Taxes are the lifeblood of the government. The government is the biggest employer in the country. So paano makakapag-employ ng staff yan kung walang pera? And a big chunk of government funding comes from taxes. Yun ang lifeblood ng government. Yeah, thank you. That's good, no? Good. Thank you, Kyla. Ano pa? Sino pa, guys?
Okay.
Yes? Paki-introduce sarili.
Competition po.
Sino?
This is Syra po.
Syra?
Competition po.
Yeah, thank you, Syra. Competition, no? Ito, minsan nakakalimutan natin. Akala natin na the competitors would not want the business, the competition to succeed. On the contrary, guys, okay, there is what we call good competition and bad competition. Of course, bad competition, ayaw ng companies yung bad competition. Gusto nila yung good competition kasi they're actually, quote-unquote, helping each other out, no? Kasi they keep themselves on their toes. Ano ibig sabihin ng on their toes? Hindi sila pa pwede magpa-petiks kasi may competitor. So it keeps them really motivated to be innovative, to really study more the market, to understand the market, and come up with products that are really very useful to the market. No? So that's what competition does, at least good competition. Good competition helps the players in the industry be on their toes. Diba? Agree with you? Agree kayo dun, guys? Na kahit na isipin natin na kung tutuusin, parang gustong talunin ni Globe si Smart, vice versa, or si Dito, etc. Still, these companies would want their competitors to also be on their toes, to also be on their toes and really produce good products then, kasi that will also speak well of the industry. Okay, so what else, guys? Ano pa?
Sir,
Yes, sino to?
this is Jillian po.
Jillian, sige.
Communities po.
Community, yes, of course, si community. Bakit, guys? Bakit Jillian? Bakit si community?
If nag-succeed po kasi yung company, then the community would benefit from it po because then it will provide them job opportunities po.
Correct.
And
Yes.
also quality products din po that they need or services.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jillian. No? So parang customers din, di ba? Community, in a sense, are also customers. And also, nagbe-benefit sila kasi pag good social citizen yung firm na yan, magpo-provide yan ng mga additional services to the community like maybe health services, education, employment also. Siguro gagawin ng top priority sa community kasi in the first place, kung malapit lang sila dun sa anong yun, mas favorable yung para sa sa company din kasi lesser yung travel time ng mas productive yung mga employees nila kung malapit lang dun sa location ng firm, no? Okay, so may na-mention na tayong sino pa, guys? Sino pa?
Sir,
Yes?
Sophia po.
Sophia, yes.
Suppliers po.
Yes, suppliers, of course. Okay, suppliers. Ano naman, what about suppliers, Sophia?
Kasi po kapag po nag-succeed yung business, ganon, mako-continue po yung operations niya. So, they could continue buying products po dun sa suppliers.
Yan.
So, yung suppliers po kapag kumikita po yung business, continuous din po yung kita ng suppliers nila.
Yan. Very good, very good. Well said, Sophia. Now, it will be interesting, guys, to see, dati naging naging very top topic yun. Narinig niyo na ba yung TQM? Have you heard of this term? Guys, TQM. Noong 1980s, this was a very hot topic. Have you heard of TQM, guys? Anyone? Okay. Chat. No. Okay, wow. Hindi na pala masyadong uso itong TQM. TQM stands for Total Quality Management. Total Quality Management. And it's interesting, guys. Paano ba ako pumunta sa next page dito? Dali, ha? Ayaw na pumunta sa dulo. Dali, let me just... Okay, tapos... I don't know how to go to the next page. Dali lang, guys, ha? Insert, page break. Bakit nabaliktad? Insert, page break ulit. Nauuna. Okay, sige. Anyway, dapat dito eh. I'll just write it here. Hindi ko pa masyado master tong, sorry guys ha. I was mentioning guys yung TQM, which is Total Quality Management. Naging buzzword to dati guys, yung 1980s, 1990s. No? Okay, and there was this company that really became the byword as far as TQM is concerned. Baka hindi nyo na naririnig tong company. Of course, kilala tong company na to. No? It's a Japanese company that when you talk about TQM, sila talaga yung pinaka-guru, sila talaga yung pinaka-example. Would you know which company is this, guys? Any guess? Ano kaya itong company na to? Pag sinabing TQM, Total Quality Management, the best example niyan is this company. Any guess? Starts with the letter T. Yes, may nag-answer. Natin, yes. Yes, thank you, Pao. Thank you, Marco. You're correct, no? Toyota. No? Toyota. Toyota, guys, pag sinabi nating TQM, Toyota na yan. So let me just quickly tell you what Toyota did, no? Kasi talagang linampaso niya yung mga American companies, si GM, si General Motors, si Ford. Okay? Linampaso ni Toyota in terms of TQM. We don't have time to really discuss this in greater detail. Pero what's interesting is how Toyota built its business model, no? So for example, this is Toyota. Ang ginawa ni Toyota, he partnered with the suppliers. So that's si mga suppliers niya, ang ginawa niya, in-encourage siya na mag-relocate yung mga suppliers na katabi ni Toyota. So yung mga suppliers ni Toyota, ang lapit lang sa kanila. Okay? So ano yung concept nun? So Toyota established a good working relationships with select firms, no? So unlike yung US business model, yung tinatawag nilang magka-canvas, no? Okay, ano ba yung pag sinabing mag-canvas? Okay, kunyari kailangan natin ng 1 million pieces na ganito. Okay, mag-canvas tayo. O kaya bidding system. Paglabanin natin yung mga companies, okay, maglabanan sila ng best price, tapos pipiliin natin yung best price. Yun ang tawag nga pala dun guys sa system na yun, it's the push system. Ano yung push system? You push the companies and let them battle it out. No? Bahala sila kung sinong maglabanan. May the best company win. No? Ang Toyota hindi, guys. Ang ginamit niya, yung pull system. Ano yung pull? So, yung concept ng pull system, no? Hinihila niya yung company. Ito nga, hinihila niya para magkakalapit lang sila para si Toyota hindi na kailangan ng warehouse. I-compare nyo guys dati yung business model ni Ford o kaya ni GM, ang laka-laka ng warehouses nila. So si Toyota, hindi kailangan ng warehouse kasi ang may warehouse yung supplier niya. Ayan. Sila yung nagme-maintain ng warehouses nila. Tapos, ang ginawa ni Toyota, what we call the just-in-time. Okay? JIT system. Just-in-time. So kunyari, kailangan ni Toyota ng 1 million parts na to. So inform lang niya si supplier A. So since naki-supplier A yung yung part na yun, so dadaling kagad ni supplier A. That's what we call just in time. So hindi kailangan ni Toyota ng ng malaking warehouse. Samantalang guys, si Ford o si GM, anong difference na? Si Ford o si GM, these are the American companies. Kailangan nila ng napakalaking warehouse, no? So doon nila ini-store yung mga raw materials nila. Kasi ang methodology nila, ang business model nila, JIC. No? Tignan nyo, difference yan, no? JIC versus JIT. Any guess, guys, kung ano yung JIT? Ito, just in time. Okay? Yung JIT system ni Toyota, okay, meant that hindi na nila kailangan mag-maintain ng napakalaking warehouse na napakamahal, guys. So because of that, Toyota was able to really lower down the prices of their cars. And na-penetrate nila yung American market. That was their secret, no? Kasi si Ford, si GM, ano yung nila? Si Chrysler, ano yung nila? Ano yung system nila? JIC. Anyone guys, kung ano yung JIC? JIC is, yan, tingnan natin. Yeah, tama. No, thank you, Carl. Thank you. Erin, thank you. Tama kayo, no? It's just in case. So, imagine niyo yung concept na yan. Just in case kailangan natin ng 1 million parts nito, so dapat meron tayong nakastore dyan, no? Diba? So, nakatali yung pera sa inventory, andyan lang yan. Tapos, ang laki-laki ng warehouse kasi ang daming parts ng kotse. So, they need to have this huge warehouse in order to store their inventory. Paano sila makakapag-compete kay Toyota na halos walang warehouse? Kasi, ang ginawa ni Toyota, pull system. Sige, as we grow, you grow with us. Okay, so yung mga suppliers niya, malapit sa kanila. So there was this good relationship between the suppliers and the firm, which is Toyota. Okay, very interesting guys, no? Noong 1980s, 90s, talagang lamang loob to guys ng mga business schools. Talagang pinag-aaralan nila. Dinisect nila kung paano naging very successful si Toyota. Even up to now naman guys, Toyota is of course, alam natin yung byword na Toyota, no? We know how Toyota really is a very successful in the car manufacturing industry, no? Okay, meron pa ba tayong nakalimutan? Government, customers, community, competition, suppliers, sino pa? Employee, may isa pa yata, no? Sino pa guys? May dalawa pa, nakalimutan tayong dalawa. Sino? Sino isa dito? Of course, ito at saka si ito, no? Sino si S? Siyempre, huwag natin kakalimutan yan. Paki-unmute na lang guys. Sino si S? Yes? Anyone? You may unmute yourselves guys, ha? Sarah. Bakit? Ano to, Sarah? Okay. Aha. Okay. Sige, guys, Sino tong S at saka sino to? Sino? Yes, of course. Thank you, Albert. Shareholder. Siyempre, huwag natin kakalimutan si shareholder kasi in fact, siya naglagay ng pera, guys, eh. Siya talaga yung pinakamalaking stake sa organization kasi siya yung nag-put in ng funds, no? And letter C, guys, sino to? Another investor? Yes, correct. Thank you. Who's this, please?
Kayla po. Sorry.
Kyla, okay. Thank you, Kyla. Yan, creditors, no? Okay, so I think these are the most important parties that are involved and would want to see the firm succeed. Kaya nga sabi nila, hindi lang dapat shareholder value maximization, but rather it should be stakeholder value maximization. Okay? The problem, guys, is, para sa isang firm, baka mahirap i-manage to. No? Kasi ang dami-daming parties na tinitingnan natin. No? Okay? Ang daming parties. And sometimes, paano kung merong conflict? Paano kung nagkakaroon ng conflict sa... Diyan guys, let me just... I'm sorry about this. No? May I'll just tell them na nasa class ako. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so going back here, guys, I was saying, yung shareholder value maximization, sabi nila that should be the main objective. While others say, dapat stakeholder value maximization. Okay, this of course is a very good objective. Kaso, this might cause problems, no? And this might be, sa dami-daming ifo-focus mo, yung maraming key stakeholders dito, it might be difficult for a firm to really focus on all of this. Kaya, for the meantime, guys, we will just focus on shareholder value maximization. But we should be cognizant of the fact that there are other players that whose interests should also be protected. Pati, for example, employees, no? Customers, importante yon. But the main objective should be shareholder value maximization. Okay? Now, so that's what I mean by the triple bottom line, yung 3 P's or 3 E's. Now, if you open this, guys, pakitingnan nga nito. Kasi ngayon, in relation to 3 P's or 3 E's, meron tayong tinatawag na ESG measurement. No? Environmental, social, and governance. Ngayon, usong-uso na to. No? So napalitan na yung triple bottom line, ESG na yung sinasabi nila. That when you assess a firm, hindi lang dapat tinitingnan yung profitability. Dapat tinitingnan din yung impact niya sa environment, tapos sa social, at saka yung governance, how it manages the company itself. No? So tingnan natin, guys, tingnan natin tong, can you look at rep track, guys? Okay, so if we go to rep track, I think this is what it will yield. It will lead us to. Let me just open this. Okay, so ngayon, guys, ang uso din yung reputation intelligence, no? Reputation intelligence ng mga companies. So there's now this company called RepTrack. Tapos ang ang service na provide nila, mini-measure yung reputation intelligence ng isang firm. So what is it? Ano ba yung reputation intelligence? Let's just take a look at this. No? Companies must express their purpose through strategies and communications that add value to their brands. Okay? Again, babalik tayo dun sa value. No? Dun sa value. And yung value na to, guys, nakikita natin dun sa branding ng company. So pag sinabi natin, kunyari, for example, Toyota, no? O sinasabi natin, kunyari, Starbucks. Okay, what does it elicit? Ano yung perception na naiisip ng mga tao pag naririnig nila yon? So ang sabi ni RepTrack, okay, sabi nila, importante na dapat nag-a-add ng value to the brand because the brand is representative of the company. Or brand awareness, RepTrack powers reputation intelligence that enables communication between leaders to measure the effectiveness of programs over time and develop strategies around business outcomes. Okay, so this is a service provided by this company, RepTrack. So sabi nila, siyempre no, may bayad to pag i-engage sila yung RepTrack, CCOs, Chief Communication Officers, and communication leaders are under growing pressure to prove their programs are delivering business value. As customer perception takes the front seat in determining a brand's value, reputation intelligence has become a must for leading companies. So meron tayong tinatawag ngayon na reputation intelligence. Okay? So how is the reputation of the firm? Is it known for maltreating their employees? Kilala ba yung firm na yan for very poor quality products? So it's very important, sabi ng RepTrack, to manage the reputation of the firm. Who is it for? Tingnan natin to Sabi nitong who is it for? This is for communication leaders. No? Importante, kailangan ipaangat yung customer perception as the essential metric for business success. So ito ang sinasabi niya, in order for a company to succeed, kailangan yung maganda yung customer perception. And kailangan yan, kino-communicate ng firm to their to their customers. I want to show this to you guys kasi napaka-importante nito. No? So dito we're talking of reputation. And according to RepTrack, yung value ng reputation is very important kasi it determines a certain percentage of the market value. Ano yung market value, guys? Market value is equal to the share price divided times the number of shares outstanding. So itong market value, importante ito. And this is very much related to shareholder value. No? Shareholder value maximization. Okay, tingnan natin guys yung evolution no? ng what drives reputation. Dati, noong 1970s, what drives reputation are hard assets, no? Tangible assets. Ito yung blue, guys. Yung blue. Ano ba yung blue na to? Yung machinery, yung land, yung pang makikita yung malaking warehouse ng company, malaking manufacturing company, no? Malaking facilities sila. These are what drives reputation. Pag yung company malaki yung yung manufacturing plant, okay, and other tangible assets. So tangible assets, guys, are assets that can be seen, no, that can be touched. 17% lang yung intangible. Over time, guys, 1985, nakikita natin yung proportion ng percentage ng tangible assets which drive market value has increased. Fast forward 2015, tingnan guys, nabaliktad na. No? It's now the intangible assets that drive market value. Okay? So brand, guys, as an intangible asset, has been known to really, 84% yan ang nagdadrive ng shareholder value ng firm. Wow, it's the reputation that matters, no? It's the reputation, it's the brand value of the firm. Kaya ang sabi dito, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo guys, yung C-suite, no? Reputation intelligence benefits the chief communication officers, other communication leaders, and the C-suite. Sino-sino siya? Yung chief communications officer, chief marketing officer, CEO, CIO, CPO, CFO. Okay? So, importanteng alam nila guys yung branding at saka yung reputation intelligence ng isang firm. Okay, there are some other points here. Client successes, guys. I leave this to you to look at. Pero tingnan natin kung sino yung number one, guys. Ha? According to RepTrack, sino yung number one nila? Okay, 2021 Global RepTrack Intelligence. So may methodology sila dito. Sinabi nila, dapat daw, in order to qualify, dapat yung corporate band, global revenue dapat more than $2 billion. So, malalaking companies to. Okay, ito yung global brand report nila. Number one is Lego. Yan. Okay? Very excellent daw yung yung reputation index. Reputation intelligence ni Lego. Sunod si Rolex, no? Sunod si Ferrari. Bosch, yung mga parts ng ng car, auto parts. Harley Davidson is number 5. Canon is number 6. Adidas number 7. Walt Disney, Microsoft, Sony. Okay. So these are the top 10. Okay? Top 10 firms which according to the global reputation track is has the most excellent reputation. Okay, so you may wish to download this report and try to see paano kaya nila dinetermine yung ng RepTrack yung score ni Lego. Ano ba yung ginawa ni Lego in order to deserve this? Kaya now it's very interesting guys kasi ngayon may mga institutions na i-rank kayo according to your reputation according to your brand, no? There's another site guys which I want you to look at. Tingnan natin dito, no? Sa Google nga guys, ilagay niyo Interbrand. And Interbrand 2021. Okay, ito naman ibang naman to guys, no? Ibang company, no? So here we have best brands, Interbrand. Matagal na to, no? Early 200s pa to. early 2000 tong Interbrand na to. So let's open this. So just like RepTrack, ito naman ang binavalue nila yung brand ng company. Yan. So Best Global Brands 2020. You can download the full report. No? If you go down, okay. Tingnan natin kung sino yung number 1 nila. Yan. Okay. Number 1, according to Interbrand, it's what? So these are in thousands, no? Thousands to. Yeah, I think it's in thousands. So Apple, number 1. Ilang years na number 1 si Apple. Okay, let me just cite to you what this means, no? 322 billion, 999 million. So what does that mean? Ano kaya guys, ibig sabihin na itong 322 billion na to? Anyone? Pwede nyo i-chat or pwede nyo sabihin kung ano itong ibig sabihin na to? 322? Anyone? Guys, moment, dali lang ha. Hello. Yeah, guys, sorry ha. Okay. So, saan na ba tayo? Ano ibig sabihin ng price per share po ba? Okay, no. But thank you, Kendrick, for answering that. Albert, shareholder, hindi pala yan. Sabi ni Syra, yung worth nila, hindi rin, no? Actually, yung 322 billion na yan, okay, that is the value of the brand. Yung brand lang, hindi yan yung assets ng firm. Hindi yan yung equipment, hindi yung machinery. It's just the brand. In other words, if you want to buy the Apple brand now, kailangan may $322 billion ka para bilhin yan. Okay? Yan ang ibig sabihin. That's just the brand name. So according to Interbrand, ito yung value ng brand name ni Apple. Okay? And of course, we know guys na that's not a far-fetched idea. Kasi grabe yung kahit isang sulok ng mundo ka pumunta guys, recognize tong brand na to. So ito may kinagat na mansanas, no? Okay, next is Amazon. A far second guys, Amazon, 200 billion. Then Microsoft 166. Okay, tapos si Google. For a while guys, nung nagsimula to Interbrand, laging Coca-Cola yung number 1. But over time, bumaba na ng bumaba yung value. Ngayon nga, 2020, bumaba ng 10% yung niya, no? Okay? Tapos Toyota, dyan pa rin. Consistent, no? Si Toyota, si Mercedes-Benz, si McDonald's, si Disney. Okay? And then you have here the top 100 brands. Okay? IBM, Louis Vuitton, shop, etc. So in this report, you can see there the best brands, yung value nila. Okay, and I'll leave you guys to read how Interbrand is able to compute for this. Okay, so baka tanong ko sa quiz yan, no? Kung paano ba dina-download, paano ba kino-compute ni Interbrand. But it's good to be aware, guys, that there's such a measure as this. And although iba siya dun sa sa RepTrack, di ba? Kasi si RepTrack, ang mini-measure niya, yung, in a sense, branding din, no? Yung reputation ng company. Ito naman, ang mini-measure ni Interbrand, yung the value of the brand itself. But there's a relationship between the two. Okay? So, any questions so far, guys? Any questions? So, ito guys, buzzword na ito ngayon, yung ESG, yung Environmental, Social, and Governance Measures. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's proceed, guys. So, bago tayo pumunta dun sa mga instruments, mga intermediaries, sa markets, let's first take a look briefly at what finance is. Okay, although we have already discussed this in greater detail, in some details before, ano lang natin guys, very briefly, and since I have already given you the slides, I hope you have browsed through it, guys. So alam natin na ang finance is really more about resource allocation. No? It's all about resource allocation. Ito. Kasi sabi natin, limited lang naman yung resources ng organization. So it can't be in all places at all times. So kung may mga magagandang investments, for example, hindi naman niya pwedeng puntahan lahat yun. So it has to be choosy and it has to look at what, for example, si Ayala Corporation, no? Sila yung nagmamanage ng mga businesses ng Ayala. Sila magsasabi kung pupunta ba tayo sa telecommunications. Okay, pupunta ba tayo sa, kunyari sa food industry. Dati kasi ang pure food sa Ayala yan eh. Yung binenta nila, no? Dati pa. So, in what industries are they going to invest in? So, for example, ito yung mother company, ito yung mother company, which is Ayala, and then i-decide niya kung anong mga industry sila papasok. Yan. So, ang tawag niyan, resource allocation, guys. Kasi, kung pwede nga lang silang pumasok sa lahat ng profitable industries, gagawin nila yon. Kaso, because of limited resources, kailangan i-allocate nila. Anong tawag dito, guys? SBU1, what's SBU? SBU2, anyone, guys? Paki-sound off na lang. SBU3, SBU4. What are SBUs, guys? And several SBUs. What are SBUs? Anyone? SBUs, what does that mean? SBUs mean, yes, may sumagot. Sana paki-unmute na lang, guys, para hindi makakasave time. Yes. Thank you, Syra. Yeah. Correct, Syra. Thank you. No? Thank you. It's what we call strategic business unit. So ito yung mga industries kung saan papasok si Ayala Corporation. Ang mother company, guys, si Ayala Corporation. Okay? Tapos yung mga SBUs nila, meron sila sa telecommunications through Globe. Meron sila sa banking and finance, BPI. Meron pa sila sa ibang meron pa sila sa ibang industries, no? Okay, we can name several. Meron sila sa insurance, meron sila sa food, okay? So that's what we call SBU, strategic business units, no? And i-determine nila kung feasible yon or hindi, no? And it's the mother company that decides on that. And that's what we call resource allocation. So part of that is resource management, acquisition. Ano ibig sabihin acquisition? Pwede kasi mag-set up sila ng panibagong business or pwede na lang nilang bilhin yung isang existing business doon. Kaya nga you can hear of some companies buying a company in a particular SBU and a particular industry so that they will have presence in that specific industry. No? Okay, so simply put, guys, finance is all about money. No? Money. It's all about money. Yun sabi ni Investor World. It's all about what deals with what's related to money. Okay, so let's move on, guys. So another definition, again, inulit ko lang kanina, managing money. So kailangan, guys, titingnan yung mga processes, yung mga markets, yung mga instruments, which we're going to look into in greater detail. Okay, in the transfer of money. Okay, dalan guys, ha. Okay, so that's the definition of Gitman. Sorry guys, pasensya na. Medyo nagugulo yung tuta, no? Okay, transfer of money among individuals. So it's all about, guys, the flow, money flow to, no? Money flow. So kunyari, yung example natin si Ayala Corporation or si San Miguel Corporation or si sa mga Gokongwei, guys, ano yung mother company ng ng mga Gokong Ways, guys? Would you know? Anyone? Guys, yung mga Ayalas, yung Ayala Corporation. Ang San Miguel, we have San Miguel Corporation. Sila yung mga mother companies. No? Sila yung mga nagde-decide kung saan business papasok. Would you know, guys, yung Robinsons, ano nila? Ano yung mother company? Anyone? Okay, sige. So, medyo i-research nyo yan, ha? Kung ano yung mother company nila, no? Tapos, and Robinsons is into several SBUs, no? Pag sinabing SBUs, iba't ibang industries. Okay, so, managing money. This is not moving. Okay, and this is all related to the creation of economic value or wealth as defined by Keon, no? Okay, now others would think that finance is simply related to accounting. Medyo hindi siya, guys, no? Kasi ang accounting, it's more, the objective of accounting is more the generation of, yeah, okay, tama to, no? JG Summit, no? Okay, John Gokong Wei. Tama. Thank you, Marco. No, this is the holding company, no, of the Gokong Wei Group. So, kasama din yung URC, Universal Rubina Corporation, yun yung presence sila sa food. Okay, meron din silang Robinson's Land, sa real estate, okay, and other companies, their presence in other SBUs, no? Strategic business units. So I hope, guys, clear yung yung ginagawa ng organizations, no? So meron silang holding company or mother company, tapos they decide kung anong strategic business unit sila papasok, no? SBUs or in what industries. And that involves, guys, resource allocation. Kailangan i-manage nila. Okay, so some think that finance is only about financial modeling. That's true. Finance is all about financial modeling is important. Some say that finance is just all about it's just a subsector of banking. In part, partially true to mga to, guys, no? Kasi lahat ng mga yan ginagawa sa finance, but that's not the whole picture. That's not the whole picture kasi alam naman natin that any decision in an organization that involves the use of money deals with corporate finance. So whether it's marketing or operations, HR, accounting, IT, lahat yan, guys, may yung tentacles ni finance, yung may influence doon. Kasi all of these functions, marketing, operations, HR, accounting, and IT, will require the use of funds. Okay, so last definition ito, guys. Ang bilis ng oras, no? Okay, so every decision that the business makes, may financial implications yan. Okay, so for example, sa marketing, pagpa-price ng product, kailangan ng inputs ng finance yan. Sa making better accounting and information systems, kailangan din ng input ng finance. Sa mga investments sa human capital, no? Okay, sa talent management, organizational behavior, kailangan din ng finance yan, guys. Corporate strategy, no? Okay? Kunyari, paano papasok sa isang industry, yung acquisition ng panibagong business, kailangan niya ng inputs ng finance. Even sa operations management, guys. So lahat to, guys, may implication ng finance dyan. So finance is not only parang isang field lang siya. Hindi. Guys, lahat ng functionalities ng business, and I've been harping on this already several times, the influence, the tentacles of finance is always present. Okay. Check ko lang, guys, ha. Ma-manage natin time natin. Okay. We have time more for some more slides. Okay. Now, in any field, guys, in any body of knowledge, may mga principles na sinusunod. Ang financial management din, guys, may principles. So here are the 3 important principles We call them the first principles as far as finance is concerned. Okay, so first we have the investment principle, and then the financing principle, and then the dividend principle. Kailangan guys, napaka-clear sa atin to, no? Okay, ano ba yung investment principle? Ano ba yung investment principle? Ang investment principle guys, finance helps in determining saan ba mag-i-invest. Okay? And in order to do that, in order for finance to come up with a decision, kailangan merong principle silang sinusunod. Yung principle na yan, ang susundin dapat, piliin yung mga project na magbibigay ng highest possible risk-adjusted returns. Okay? So we will discuss as we go along, guys, ano tong risk-adjusted returns. But the operative word, guys, kunyari, we have 10 projects. Tapos these are what we call mutually exclusive projects. Sulat ko yun. Dali, asan na yung aking digital pen. Okay, so we have this. So for example, we have what we call mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive as compared with versus independent. Independent projects. Okay, anong kaiba nila guys? Pag mutually exclusive, so for example, you have choices between A, B, and C projects. Pag sinabi mutually exclusive, pag pinili natin si A, you only choose one. No? Pag pinili natin si A, hindi na pipiliin si B at saka si C. Kasi exclude na siya. Mutually exclusive. So ibig sabihin, choose the best lang yan. Pag independent projects naman, pwede mong piliin lahat. No? So that's a difference, no, between mutually exclusive projects and independent projects. Sa investment principle, guys, kapag mutually exclusive yung projects, kailangan pipiliin natin yung highest possible risk-adjusted return. Kapag independent projects naman, for as long as they meet the criteria of a particular return, then pwede nating piliin lahat, no? Ang magiging mga constraint lang natin doon, yung budget natin. Kunyari, ang budget, 100 million yung project. Yung 100 million yung i-invest natin. Ito, 70 million. Ito, 20 million. Ito, 30 million. So, ibig sabihin, hindi natin mapipili lahat, no? Kung mutual independent project siya kasi lalampas tayo ng 100 million. That's what I meant, no? So, pipiliin na lang natin yung pinaka highest returns dito na aabot sa budget natin na 100 million. Okay? So that's what we do with the investing principle. Okay, ano naman yung financing principle? Okay, ang financing principle, guys, how do we finance the projects? No? Paano natin i-finance yan? Okay, and the question that we're going to answer is, okay, so let me introduce this already. Okay, sabi natin, di ba, dito ko isusulat, guys, ha? Okay, I'm going to write it here. Okay. So we have here, alam natin, guys, na assets is equal to liabilities plus equity. Okay, so if we divide everything by assets, so this is one way to look at this basic accounting equation. Pag dinivide natin lahat ng assets over assets, what's this, guys? What is assets over assets? What's this? This is, ano to, guys? Anyone? Simple lang yan, guys. Total assets over total assets. Hello? What's that, guys? Okay, unmute na lang, guys, para okay, 1. Thank you, Marco. Yes, of course, that's 1. No? That's 100% or 1. Siyempre, anything divided by itself. No? So this is 100%. Okay, so what's this? What's this, guys? This is your DR, and this is your ER. What's DR, guys? Naalala nyo sa accounting ko ano yan? DR guys, accounting ano to? Debit? Okay. Okay. Thank you for that answer. Pero hindi siya debit guys, ha? Okay. Although 100% guys, pag tinatanong ko to, usually ganun yung sinasagot, debit. No? But this is not the accounting debit. This is actually, kasi tinan nyo to guys, no? It's actually a ratio, di ba? So this is what we call this is what we call the debt ratio. Okay, and this is the equity ratio. Okay, debt ratio and equity ratio. Okay, ngayon ang tanong guys, invest sa financing principle. This one guys is called your, may tawag dito sa dalawang to, no? Itong dalawang to, yung proportion ng debt at saka equity, this is your capital structure, no? Or others call this the capital mix. Okay, yan. Okay, ang tanong, ano yung pinakamagandang capital structure? So that's a question answered by the financing principle. Pag financing principle, what is the best capital structure? Okay, ano sa tingin nyo guys? Ano sa tingin nyo? What's the best capital structure? Sige nga, guess kayo guys, guess. Guess nga. Any guess? Kung ano yung best capital structure? Wala lang guys. Is it 50-50? May I request you guys to chat here bawat isa sa inyo. Gusto ko lang makita kung ano yung sentiment nyo, no? Individually, what do you think is the best capital structure for a company? Can you chat it guys, please? Dito sa chat box natin. Everyone, please. Kasi pinag-uusapan natin yung capital structure, no? Ang tanong natin, ano kaya yung debt ratio? Tsaka, okay, thank you, Syra. 80-20 kay Syra. Paki-chat nyo to everyone para makita ng iba, no? Okay. Okay, Marco, 20-80. Thank you, Marco. How about the rest, guys? Okay, thank you, Aaron. Kay Aaron, pareho kay Syra. 80-20. Okay, Albert, 60-40. Sophia, 20-80. Okay, thank you. Yung iba, guys. Who else? Siguro mga 10 pa lang yung sumasagot. I'd like to see the others, guys. Okay, it's almost time, no? Okay, 80-20. Thank you, Caleb. All right. So let's end here, guys. I'll postpone that answer to that, no? Kasi ang tinitingnan natin, so let me just end in this slide na to, no? Okay, it's time, no? So, ang sinasabi natin, guys, the financing principle and the dividend principle, lastly. So, matapos sa itong slide na to. Ang tanong, guys, is it better to give dividends now or saka na lang? Yun ang isang tanong din na kailangan isasagutin ng finance. All right, so let's end here, guys. Let's continue our discussion. We have a few more, marami-rami palang slides, no? Tapos may part B pa to, but we'll finish. Baka hindi natin matapos on Monday, so that means mag-spill over tayo sa next Monday. Maybe half of that para ma-complete natin tong module 1. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I hope you learned something. No? Salamat. Sana may natutunan tayo ngayong araw na to. Okay, we'll take it one day at a time, one session at a time. Take care, guys, and yeah, thank you, Syra, no? Pwede yung movie na kasi maraming movies ang enrolled, pero sabi ni Syra, this is one of those movie na pwede, no? Okay, so 2005 to The Smartest Guy in the Room. Yes. Thank you, Syra, for posting that, no? Okay, so kung may time kayo, guys, pwede nyo nang panoodin. Tapos may reaction paper kayo dun, ha? Brief reaction paper lang kung ano natutunan nyo sa movie. May points yun, yung reaction paper na. Okay, that's one of the requirements, guys. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. Have a nice day and ingat lagi, guys. I hope you learned something for today. Okay, let me end the recording now. Okay, salamat.
Thank you, sir.